honestly, like what's been going on. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of agree with everybody. The story mode for the new Call of Duty was completely bad. It was real quick. I finished it in like an hour or two. Honestly, to be completely honest with you, I didn't even really finish it. I played most of it, and I let my son play the rest because that's how bored I was of it. Like I didn't even want to play it. But you do get bad things in gaming, and sometimes you get good things out of those bad things. And this time, we actually got something that I can say that I actually enjoy. Endgame is a PvE, yes, PvE extraction game mode that takes place on a map called Avalon. I like the name of that map. Avalon is an amalgamation. Oh my gosh, why am I trying to use big words? It's just different maps from Black Ops titles from the past. Just to highlight a few: Firing Range, a classic. Yeah, man, not considered really a classic because most people didn't like it, but we can all agree it's nostalgic. Casino, that's from Black Ops 4, etc., etc. How the map is split up is it's 4 zones. So 1 is the easiest, and 4, of course, being instant death. For low CR, and low CR is combat rating. Combat rating is pretty much your level in this game mode. So again, by the zones, zone 1 would contain any player that is level 10 CR and below. After that, it's level 10 CR and above for zone 2. Zone 3 does level 30 in CR, and level 4 is 45 in CR and above, which you can only max out your CR to 60. But I'm pretty sure that's for now. Knowing Call of Duty, if this game mode is real successful, that's gonna go up. What CR does is that every time you level up, it gives you a choice between 2 perks to pick. You keep picking and picking, and you build your playstyle from there, and they turn into these skill tracks. Now, these skill tracks only develop from the choices that you make with these perks. So some of the skill tracks that we have are Gunner, which makes you do things like reloading faster. Berserker, which makes you have more damage. Bulldozer, basically it just makes you a tank. Daredevil, that makes you run and dive and do all that stuff real faster. Surgeon allows you to heal people more faster. And last but not least, Tactician allows you to get more equipment, and it kind of upgrades or boosts your equipment too. So let's take a look at my skill tracks. Berserker is my highest, followed by Surgeon, then Bulldozer. So basically I'm a high damage player with some health boost and armor, making me tankish. It's not really that complicated to understand. It's completely random, but if you keep picking similar perks, you're gonna get the build that you want. But it's at the end of the day, it's still random. So the only other thing that you have to know is basically how getting weapons work. And that's pretty much easy. You get weapons doing little things and events around the map. So you see like those green things that I'm flying towards and past. Some of those will give you weapons. Some of them will give you score streaks. But all of it really depends on where you're at in the map. So if you're in a low zone, then you're gonna get low tier weapons if you complete those objectives. Whereas if you're in a high tier zone or you're going against a boss, which I'm gonna talk about in a second, you'll get higher tier weapons or even exotic weapons that you see me using now. But before I even talk about that, I just want to really focus on the map Avalon itself. I really like how they structured the map and how they structured the enemy AI. The enemy AI can be in like certain places of the map, but they also move around. And some of the certain objectives move around, like it's certain objectives where you have to destroy a convoy of trucks, or certain objectives where you have to destroy a drone that's flying around. So it keeps things like moving and flowing, even when you trying to do things like where you're trying to get to one place and you're just trying to get to that place, you still have more things that you can do in the meanwhile, like to keep that flow and keep everything living and breathing, you know, instead of being just like completely dead. And you know, maps like this that's usually this size and most other games have tons of dead spots, but for some reason Call of Duty did real good and Avalon barely has any. If you do find any, it's because you're making them. Like it's because you want to go to a certain spot. It's not really a dead spot. So back to what I was saying about bosses. Bosses are usually again in the highest zone, which is zone 4. And before you even be able to face a boss, you have to usually complete a task or or some type of quest just to get the boss up here like I'm doing right now. Well, I should say what they were doing. I just came to help just so things can move along and go faster. But after you complete the quest, boom, the boss will appear. This boss just so happens to be a zombie dinosaur or a Z-Rex. Let me make sure I say that right. Z-Rex with a Z, like as in Z. Now, having a zombie dinosaur, zombie Z-Rex or whatever is kind of cool, but I have to be honest, I don't like the design of him because all he is just a bullet sponge that does no damage. If they do make more bosses in the future, I hope they're just not bullet sponges, you know, because it's easy to make a bullet sponge boss. Anybody? And I mean, I can completely understand the reason that they made the Z-Rex and how he plays. I mean, that's the most default thing you're gonna do with any type of boss. And I still can't fully knock them because I still have to give them props for having creativity and trying to step out the box for this game mode in general. So I'll still give them props for that. And after you defeat the boss, you run over to his body and you collect your exotic weapon or perk. In this case, I got a perk. And I know you see a lot of people crowding around this one box. No, nobody shares any loot. Everybody gets their own loot. Nobody can steal each other's loot. Things of that nature, it doesn't happen. So it being PvE, it's a fun way to make a lot of friends. Now let's move on to extraction, the way you leave this map. So anywhere on the map that you see a little yellow and with a black background, that's an extraction point. All you do is go straight to there, you get on the Vito, and you head out. Now I know this is a PvE, but you still can die. If you don't have a squad, you can die and you're gonna lose all your stuff. However, if you're on a squad, when you die, it's just gonna be a respawn timer. You're gonna respawn in right back with your stuff. And I'm enjoying the game mode. I just wanted to share that with y'all.